Hey, if you don't want your windows to sag, you better make sure you got headers coming up. They say an eco-friendly house can't be built in 150 days for $150,000, and I say it can. I'm Alan Smith. Join me as I push the limits with time, budget, and creativity with the Garden Home Challenge, exclusively on ehowhome. Okay, so before we covered the entire front of the house up with this OSB board, which is the skin of the house, later we're going to put a clapboard finish on it, but this is our wrap. Before we got this on it, I wanted to point out these headers. And look above each one of the 4 windows across here, and look at the entry door, the front entry door here, and you'll see this big block, okay? So what we have above it really kind of serves as a header, and this is a beam. That is a 2x12, which gives a lot of strength. But think about this, if we didn't have another one here, and you can see how it's supported by this post and this post, if you will, we've got another 2x10 right here. This is a weak point in the house. Anytime you cut out a window or a door, you've got gravity constantly pulling down, and there's going to be a lot of weight up here. You got to have a bearing member like this, which will make sure that the windows will sit in here and the doors will sit in here without getting any pressure from the house itself, because frankly, they're pretty fragile. So I just want to point out that our porch roof, as you will recall, we're going to have a front porch here, we have a front porch on the back, and that member for the roof of the porch will start right here. It'll be a 2x6, and they'll come out this direction, 8 feet. So we'll have an 8-foot floor, and then we'll have a 9-foot roof, because you want to make sure you have an overhang for water and so forth. Now let's take a look at this door over here. So if you take a look at the front door here, the size of the door itself is going to be 8 feet tall, and it's going to be 3 feet wide. And I've been going back and forth about having a transom up here, and a transom is just a window above the door that allows light, and it can serve as a place for ventilation, where you can open a transom, you can kick it in, and you get air circulation into the house. If we do that, we want to make sure there's a screen across the transom, because you don't want to let in a lot of unwanted visitors in the way of insects. But Tony feels like that with this header here, we're still okay. We can still have a 16-inch transom and an 8-foot door that'll be here. So that's sounding pretty good. Now, in a lot of cases, you can have side lights. You've seen houses that have windows on either side of the door. The purposes for that, of course, was to let light into an entry hall, but that's added expense. We're not going to do it. We got to remember this is a cottage and we're in a budget, so we're just going to put a transom above here at the top to help with a little light in the hall and ventilation. So hey, it's looking pretty good, isn't it? If you're enjoying our progress on this, make sure you subscribe to ehowhome.